Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Piper and I'm learning how to fly. And today we are about to leave and fly to Santa Paula to have some lunch. Earlier today we did some work in the pattern here at the airport. I did about 10 touch and goes, just flying in the pattern, getting acclimated to the 182, getting some hours in. And we unfortunately did not get to fly last week, I think it was last week, because of that accident that happened on the runway. So we're happy to get back in the plane today. Let's go. Oxnard Tower, Skyline 7312 Quebec is ready for takeoff and will be northbound.
7312 Quebec, Oxnard Tower, are you number 2 in line or number 1?
We're number 2, 12 Quebec.
Roger, 12 Quebec, taxi up to BAI and hold short of runway 25.
12 Quebec, roger.
See how Piper stays in the center line, Pat?
Oh, that's great. She's had a little practice.
Okay, Santa Paula's that way over there. All right, Piper. See that big hill here? And there's like a valley. We're going to go in that valley, but we're going to stay to the right side of the valley.
Okay.
Okay? And we don't have to really go any higher. We'll level off right here. And you can trim for a level fly.
Wait, what altitude should we be keeping?
1,500 feet is fine. That's all we need.
That's the highest we're gonna go?
Yeah. See this big valley here?
Yeah.
We're going to hug the right side of that valley. That puts us on a left downwind for runway 22.
Santa Paula traffic, red and white Cessna's on final runway 22.
Okay, she's on final for 22. You see the runway, Pipey?
Yeah, I see her.
You can turn final when it's time to turn final. Looking good, looking good.
Gas, undercarriage mixture, and pop.
Okay, Piper, what airspeed do you have there, sweetie?
80.
Okay, that's good. Okay, and we can't be too high here because it's a real short runway.
Yeah.
All right. Full flaps. We did our gump check.
Uh-huh.
All right, keep it on the center line, Pipey, okay?
Yep.
Let me know your airspeed.
We're at 75.
Oh, perfect.
70 to 75.
Oh, that's
right.
even better. Okay, good.
Top of the green.
All right. You're right in the center line. Looks really good.
Really level.
There you got it.
Well, we just landed here at Santa Paula Airport. It's a beautiful day. Like, the weather couldn't be better. And we're here at Flight 126 Cafe to get some lunch.
Before we were talking about maybe going to Oshkosh.
Oh, yes.
Wait, so have you been to Oshkosh before?
I went to Oshkosh back in the 70s in an Aranca Champion, an Aranca 7AC. It was the first plane I ever had ownership in. It was a 65 horsepower Aranca. You sat tandem.
Oh my gosh.
And it had no electrical system. So there was no radio, there was no navigation. It was pilotage and dead reckoning and VFR flying only. So one of my buddies and I decided we were going to go to Oshkosh. And at the time I was flight instructing at Culver Military Academy in Culver, Indiana. We decided that the shortest way to get to Oshkosh was right across Lake Michigan. So we flew that Aranca Champ across the lake. And we did have flotation devices, although they were pretty primitive. And the problem that we had is that it started to rain. And as we went across the lake, the ceiling came down further and further and further. So we weren't up high enough to really to have an advantage in dead reckoning and pilotage. But we crossed the lake, and when we hit the shoreline, we didn't know where we were. It took a while to figure out where we had crossed because we were flying with a magnetic compass. We didn't even have a directional gyro, okay? And we finally figured out where we were, but the rain continued and the ceiling got lower to the point where we were flying right over the telephone poles.
Oh my God.
And I told my buddy Jim, I said, Jim, we have to set it down before something happens here. So we looked on the map and we found a closed airport. And so we headed for the closed airport. We followed a road until we hit a railroad track, and then we followed that. And we saw the closed airport. They still had a windsock up. but they had changed the closed airport into a trailer park, and the runway was the road between the trailers. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. We landed on that old runway, and it was kind of funny because I saw people that were probably still sleeping would like part their curtains and look at us. So we went down to the end of the runway and we shut down and we waited about a half hour. Nobody came out. Finally the rain shower let up and the ceiling went back up. I jumped out of the plane and I hand propped it because there was no electric start. We took off and we went to Oshkosh, and we had a great time at Oshkosh.
You're relying on some crazy like trust there.
Yeah, no radio, no
Flying
instruments.
across the lake without the radio. Wow.
Yeah, a 65 horsepower airplane. But the Aranca was a pretty solid bird, and it only went about 75 miles an hour in cruise. That was top speed.
So what does this have to do with Oshkosh?
What it has to do with Oshkosh is
For you.
we'd like to go this year if anybody has a booth
Yes.
and they would like to share their booth, or they would like to have Piper come and help them promote their product line.
I'll be there.
We would definitely.
I'll be your #1 supporter.
We would go to Oshkosh.
Yeah.
And we would love to meet our subscribers. We know a lot of our subscribers that are going to be at the convention, and we'd love to meet them in person.
Yeah. So Pat, you found time, aside from helping us with our series and editing and everything, to pick up a new job.
I did.
So tell us.
You know, I've been retired for the last 3 years, and I decided that I wanted to do something to just stay a little bit active. So I've got a part-time job. I'm giving tours at SoFi Stadium. It's the stadium where the Rams and Chargers play. It's actually a really incredible place. They're going to have the Olympic opening closing ceremonies there in 6 years.
Wow.
They've got the Super Bowl this year. It's at SoFi Stadium. So it's a really nice place. And we just started giving tours 3 weeks ago. And what happens is there's tours that leave every 15 minutes. And it's a really nice tour. I highly recommend people take it. The people come into the stadium. My pleasure is watching people come in and they're excited about it. I mean, people are thrilled. And the way it works is we give a 1-hour guided tour where I tell people about the stadium as we proceed through the stadium. But the tour ends up on the field itself. So the people that are taking the tour can actually walk out on the field. There's some activities they can do if they want to measure their skills, that like kicking a field goal or
so
running a
cool.
40-yard dash, something like that. That's all measured on the field. But there's also a lot of free play area where you can go and just grab a football and throw it around, or if you're just wanting to walk around and look or sit on the grass at the stadium, it's artificial turf, but you can sit there and look at the field. You get to visit the locker rooms for both the Rams and the Chargers.
That's so cool.
So it's really cool, and I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's something that's keeping me busy, and it was something I haven't been working for a while, and it get me active again.
I'd like to see the stadium.
So Pat, I think this is a great job, and certainly better than what you were doing last year when you were putting helium in the footballs for Tom Brady.
We had a really short flight today to lunch, but we did get a lot of flying in earlier today that we did not film. We're not always filming because it seems like she only flies once every 3 or 4 weeks. Well, no, I do fly more, but we don't always have Pat with us to help, and we don't always. We can't make it a video every single time I fly, and also I'm flying in the pattern, which is boring. I don't know if anyone really wants to watch me do 10 touch and goes and do the same thing, and it's literally so uneventful. But it's good to have uneventful touch and goes, but not exciting to watch on YouTube. So I have been getting a lot more hours in, and now that I'm done with school, I just finished college, I'm able to just focus more on flying and get out to the airport more with my dad, and I'm looking forward to a summer full of flying. So get ready.
What airspeed do you have there, cutie?
It's almost 70.
Oh, cool.
Oh, we're good.
Just lifts right off, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay, there's the traffic right there. Here's a helicopter. See him, Pat?
I see him.
Okay, yeah, got it.
He's 800 feet below us now. Okay.
Yeah. This is nice up here today. I like this right now.
Yeah.
Oxnard Tower, Cessna 7312, Quebec, over Financial Plaza with Bravo. Landing.
7312 Quebec, Oxford Tower, right base, runway 25.
Right base for runway 25, 12 Quebec. We can start going down. The runway is right
I see it.
past the white thing.
Yes.
You can head over the top of that building.
Cessna 12 Quebec, if you start reducing speed, you're number 3 to land.
Okay, we'll bring the speed back. We're number 3, 12 Quebec.
Okay, our gump check. Our gas is on both, fullest tank. Undercarriage is fixed on this airplane. Mixture is full rich and prop is full forward.
Impress Pat with your landings.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, I want to see
Oh,
what
but
the
it
practice
is.
did.
It's a tiny bit windy. Okay, we get it.
What's your speed?
Oh, 80.
Perfect. Keep her coming down. All right, Pipey, I have the airplane while you pop the window.
2535 uniform.
Put the window. Got it.
Thank you. Well, guys, we made it back to our home base. I landed us safely, and we're about to pack up the plane, put it in the hangar. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I know this wasn't a traditional flight lesson, but we did get some interesting stories at lunch, and we got a little short flight lesson in, but I was already up in the pattern for hours today, so we didn't want to include that. It's just not very exciting, but we'll be back with more flight lessons. And please make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Very important. You don't want to miss our future lessons. We have a lot planned for the summer. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for flying with us.